It's time for Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley YMCA. Let's head to Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Calling the action tonight alongside Rod Higley, here's NCW Life Channel Sports Director Eric Grandstrom.
Welcome to the North Central Washington Life Channel broadcast of high school lacrosse. I'm Rod Higley along with Jimmy Sherrill. We're going to be broadcasting the game in place of Eric Grandstrom today. He's not with us, and we sure wish him well and wish he was here helping us out, that's for sure. But hey, Jimmy, so Chiawana's coming to town today. They've lost 3 games and won 1. They've lost to Hermiston, Sela, and Southridge. Southridge and Hermiston, 2 teams that Wenatchee beat. You've seen this team play, or at least part of them anyway. What do you expect them to look like today?
I have, Mr. Higley. I actually watched them play when we were down in the Tri-Cities area. They played our JV squad, and they're actually pretty tough. They've got some good offense and a little bit of defensive work. I'm sure they've probably improved since we saw them here in about 3-4 weeks ago, so we're hoping to see a fairly good game today.
You know, they're real young. They only have 1 senior on the team and I think 6 upperclassmen altogether. So it's a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, and these kids are just going to get better and better. It's only their 2nd year in the league, and they wanted to play a varsity schedule, and I think they're going to have their hands full today.
Yeah, I think they're going to have our hands full with our boys here. They've been working hard the last couple of weeks, and this week they've put a lot of time in, and we're really looking strong. But I hope they're going to show up and give us a game that we can all see on live TV today and enjoy.
Sounds real good. I know there's a couple extra players today, but hey, we'll be talking to Coach Parker about that in just a few minutes. Coming back on the North Central Washington Life Channel broadcast of high school lacrosse. Welcome back to North Central Washington Life Channel High School Lacrosse. Today it's Chiawana against the Wenatchee team. Coach Brandon Parker with us now. Coach, what do you expect from this game today?
Well, I expect a good game, as always. Our team's ready to go. We've been practicing a lot when it comes to our offense and some of our defensive structure, so I expect us to come out solid, make our presence known right away.
So on paper, this team doesn't match up really against Wenatchee. But so as a coach, what do you expect from your players when they may be favored like this?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. So I went and talked to the guys before the game, and I said, on paper, they've lost some games by some significant numbers. However, this is high school lacrosse. Any day, any team can show up and win. So we have to go out 100% with our game plan, set the tone, get the momentum, score our goals, treat them like they're anybody else, and if at that point we have a lead that's significant or we're controlling, I'll just make sure that we're utilizing all the players that are on the sidelines, everyone can get some playing time, and we can work on perfecting some of our offense and defense for our next week's spring break trip down to San Diego.
Sounds good, and that's going to be a big trip down to San Diego. Any questions for the coach, Jimmy?
I don't, other than how do you think you prepare a team to travel 1,900 miles across to Washington, Idaho, California?
Well, that's another good question. So the parents are very helpful when it comes to the chaperoning of the kids down to a different state. We're just going to be playing the same game, whether we're in California, whether we're in Washington, or anywhere else we go. We're playing the same game with the same rules, and we have our plan, and we're dictating how we're going to do it. And I don't know the competition down there. I know it's good, but we're just going to bring what we do here and bring it down there and represent our state.
Sounds real good. Well, we'll be back at the Apple Bowl in just a minute for live coverage of North Central Washington lacrosse, Wenatchee against Chiawana. Welcome back to the Apple Bowl. I'm Rod Higley along with Jimmy Sherrill calling the game today in place of Eric Grandstrom, who couldn't make it. But so after the first quarter, Wenatchee's up 7-0. I see we have a stick violation on one of the Chiawana players, which is super unfortunate because that's a 3-minute non-releasable penalty.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate. I don't know who to blame there. If you're going to blame a coach or you're going to blame a player, but those things need to be checked at the beginning of the game because these are these are definitely situations that deploy your team.
Oh, it's terrible. And you know, my kid's had the same stick. He's got a new one now, but he's had the same stick for like 5 years. And it's legal, it's legal, it's legal. Then all of a sudden it's an eighth too tight at the mouth. So I don't know what would cause a stick to change, whether it's just reefing on it or what. But if it's off just an eighth of an inch, it holds that ball in the mouth, and it's an advantage to the offensive player.
Yeah, it's got to be 3 inches across there, and what everybody in programs have come to find out is that you got to check the mesh, because the mesh just keeps stretching, and then when you got a bunch of guys that are going for ground balls, every time you put the basket on the ground, it actually squeezes inward on there, and so that's where the 1/4 inch comes from.
Well, that would make sense. That would make sense, and as the material probably ages, it becomes more flexible and changes some. So
yes.
Mason Dahlbeck with a nice grab on that face-off. Tristan Plock with the face-off for Wenatchee.
Yep.
That's Barojos with the illegal sticks, and he's one of their best players, so he's sitting in the box for a while. I would guess would Wenatchee just kind of take their time with this big penalty, huh?
I would think so. I think we're going to see him probably run a Maryland set here. It looks like we're going yellow, and Roby Jorgensen's coming in here. Nice defensive play again there by 18.
That's Grant
Smith, yeah, I should be remembering that. That's like his third nice defensive play.
Roby with the ball. He hands it over to Ben Higley. Ben's putting it back to X, and you got Gray Coldy taking a shot off pipe. Ben should have had that ball, but he's able to run it down. He's got a man on him, but he is able to dish it in. Back over to Roby.
Center.
Roby just ripped it. There we go. Second quarter, 11:05. And
you just
Roby
got to see a two-step 90-mile-an-hour fastball coming right down the net line.
Well, you know, that's the tough thing about being the goalie is you've got that ball coming at you. You've got defenders standing in front of you sometimes, and it's hard to pick up where it's coming in. And guys are shooting at different speeds, you know. So you get a guy like Roby that's bringing it that hard. Tough to defend that.
He probably shoots 10, 15 miles an hour faster than any player on this squad here. And so when you get that, I mean, it's one of those features that's almost impossible to react to.
He's the biggest, probably the strongest guy on the team. I think he's like 6 foot 190 or something like that. And he works out a lot. He's a big, strong senior kid. Easton Hudson with a nice ground ball off the Jake Reiner face-off. He's going to feed it back. Defender knocked it out of his stick. There, you got 26. Caleb Leavitt on the defense there. Had to cut her. Great Coldy with the ball.
Great cut. Easton Hudson was looking for a score there. He cut across in front of the goal, was wide open, but they're running a little Maryland offense, so they're trying to keep the ball around the outside. But here comes
Garrison Coley was there, and that was just too easy for Gray. They've got to get that slide down, you know. He just came around the other side this time. I mean, it was the same side, different end of the field. So Gray Coley with this another goal for him.
That was praising 18, and that was his slide right there. He had it slide back to GLE and get a stick on Gray Coldy, but it didn't happen, and Gray Coldy got himself a little T-dip.
So they're still man down. This is a 3-minute non-releasable penalty. So when you've got missing a guy on defense, you kind of have to zone it a little bit, don't you?
Well, they should be in a box and one, and they're running a flat back 3, which I mean, from my experience, that I wouldn't be in that. I would be in a box and one, but
Reiner gets the face off and takes it down to the box himself. And you got a substitute. You got Jack Myers coming on for Wenatchee. See if some of these other guys can get in the action here a little bit. Working it back down. That's John Walker over to Gray Coldy. And he took a look at it. Sam Williams wants a shot. He pulls it back out. Jake Reiner's going to give it a rip, and he missed a little bit to the right. And it's backed up, so Wenatchee will maintain possession. I would guess with the man down that they can take rips like this, and there's not going to be anybody back there for Chiawana.
Well, and what they want to do is they don't want to shoot right at the goalie. They want to miss a little bit. They want to get right inside that post is what they want to do.
Right.
And if they miss out to the right, it doesn't hurt us because we're an extra man up. Our X guy's always going to get the ball returned. He's wide open right in the gut.
Just a nice cutter, nice feed from Gray Coldy.
Yep.
Jake Reiner with the goal.
Reiner.
That's his first goal of the game, and here we are at 9:50. So that penalty kill can't happen soon enough for these guys. That's 3 goals already off the penalty.
That's 3 goals, and how much more do we got to go to kill this penalty?
Well, we've got another 50 seconds. Happened right at the quarter. So they could get another goal here before this is over. Jake Strom out there on the face-off, and you got a new guy for Chiawana. I can't read his number yet. It's one of the deep holes that's going to take the face-off. I think that's Caleb Leavitt. Can you get that number there, Jay?
It looks to me like it's number 20, but
if it's 20, that's Gabriel Warland.
Gabriel Warland is what it looks like.
So deep hole doing the face-offs, same result. Looks like Reiner's going to. Nope.
2-6. It's Caleb Liebert.
Yeah, and he almost had a shot, a second chance at that because he knocked the ball out of Reiner. He gets it down to Williams. Out of Strom's stick. Greg Coldy with the ball down at X. You got Colin Wheeler coming on. Nice feed to Sammy Arredondo, but couldn't quite get enough on it to get it back down into the goal. Right there in front of the net. That's a tough one. You're exposed like that. Your chest is exposed, and, it's tough to bring that ball down.
Yep.
Back over to Williams. Over to Coldy behind the net. He's got the Connor. It was just kind of a forced pass.
A little bit. A forced pass.
He should have just kept moving a little bit, but, just too many guys right in the middle there. Coldy with the ball. Another feed. John Williams. Colin Wheeler had the ball, but then he got it back.
Colin Wheeler's got it back.
Yeah, I think that was
Johnny Walker's running on X. He's wide open. Nobody's even touching him.
Yep, he's standing there right in front of the net.
See, this is where their flat back 3 zone here doesn't work. The box and one's going to cover that X guy.
Well, they're back at full strength, so I think they're matching up now.
Yep. They're going to man up now, and we'll see. That's a ward by Gray Coldy right there. Got away with one.
That hasn't been called too much this year. I've seen it called like once or twice only, and it's been pretty obvious, more times than that for sure. And that's just a change of possession foul, right?
Yes, just change possession.
You got John Walker rotating around. He's got Sam Williams, and he takes a low shot.
Low shot, but a nice stop by the goalie.
That's a couple of saves for the goalie here today, and again, they throw it away on the clear. That's got to be frustrating from a coach's standpoint.
It's got to be extremely frustrating for a coach, and at some point I would like to see this goalie roll out around the back of that net, and if anything, him march the ball up and then Gilman down here into the corner, so at least Wenatchee's forced to run the field.
Yeah, no kidding. So Strom gets it up to Coldy on the wing. He's got Williams, that's John Walker rotating out. Walker with the ball. They'll get it up to Colin Wheeler. Wheeler over to Strom.
So we're in an Oregon offense right now. Looks like here comes the hammer. Nice slide by 18.
Shot by Greg Coldy and puts it in.
That was a nice shot.
It was.
He was on GLE right there, and he slid that right inside the pole.
So it's 7:37. That's the fourth goal of the quarter, and Wenatchee now leads at 11-0.
Is that 3 or 4 for Greg Coldy?
Well, I've got 2 in this quarter, and 1 in the first, so that's 3 for him as well.
So there's another hat trick.
That's 2 of them. How many did I say might have hat tricks?
Well, I'm guessing now we're going to be probably close to 4 or 5 guys maybe with a hat trick.
Yeah, you're gonna see Coach calling some of these guys off a little bit and saying, okay, I want you guys to be playmakers, make passes, and get everybody involved in the offense.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see Gray maybe find a little bench time here. It looked like Ben Higley got his trifecta and he sat down. So I'm guessing Gray might be on his way to the bench here too and get some of the playing time for some of them other kids.
Strom with another face-off win. Got John Walker behind at X. Over to Williams. Back up to Strom. Over to Job. See if Job takes a swing at this one. He's back out over to Coldy. Working the ball around. This looks pretty good. They got the cutter going with Williams and then back up top to Strom. They're going slow. There's, no reason to be rushing this thing. Let's get a good play and a good look. Looks like they're setting up for Nail. Job's got the move.
Well, he's wide open.
Yeah, he put it in. Yeah. That's his first goal of the year. So Luke Job,
nice shot.
6:56 in the second. Puts it in, and it's 12-0 Wenatchee. So, when you got these guys that don't necessarily play as regular, you get them in there. as from a coach's standpoint, you're okay with them taking a shot and getting a shot at the goal, aren't you?
Yeah, I think it's, that's how you gain experience. I mean, programs work from the bottom up, just like everything else does. You got to get these guys that aren't on the field all the time in there, give them some experience and give them that feeling of what it feels like to drop a goal in there.
Strom with another face-off win. He brings it down, gets over to Coley. Back to Walker at X. Over to Williams on the wing. He got a cutter, but he didn't go for it.
He had a cutter.
Who is that? Is that Alan Butcherite with a short stick? I think it is.
It is.
Yeah. He's typically a long stick midi, so have you seen him working with a short stick yet this year?
I have. Our first home game,
Nice.
I swapped him in and out for long stick and short stick. The kid is an incredible athlete. He is very fast, and I'm sure that's why they want to get him in there and let him run a little midfield.
Yeah, they need some speed at midfield. Jake Strom with a rip. So Butcherite's just a sophomore, and I remember last year when he was on the JV team, I mean, he was so good that you're like, this kid's going to be in the varsity next year. The only downside is he's kind of small.
It was funny because we started this year off, and he came in, and everybody thought he was going to be the bubble, and let me tell you, he was nowhere even close to the bubble. He was so far on the varsity squad, it wasn't even funny.
You got Mason Dahlbeck with the ball up top.
We haven't seen a whole lot of Mason today, have we?
Not too much. He started the game, played the first quarter, and then he's been sitting for a while, letting some of these other guys play. Coldy with the ball, back up top to Butcherite.
Well,
he's got room, he's got time.
We're back into Maryland. Looks like we're going to probably go with a freelance here.
So they got the cutter going now. You get a double screen. Butcherite cuts through two guys, takes a shot off
the pipe, direct. Hit the goalie in the back.
Now let's see him run it up a little bit.
Come on, bring it up. Yep, there you go.
That's an easier pass. Oh, he threw it right into Coldy's stick, and Coldy gets the ground ball and takes it away.
I'd rather see that go back to the goalie right there.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do is you want to get that ball back and forth and get it up the field.
A lot of these younger clubs believe once your goalie's got rid of it, they don't ever give it back to him again, and that's the number one mistake they make. They need to. You can use that goalie all the way to midfield.
And Wenatchee does such a great job on the rides, which is the when the offense turns to defense and tries to keep the ball down on the end. Walker with a little bit of a drive, up to Williams. Back over to Walker. And again, in these situations, you want to see the offense kind of move the ball a little bit and find the open guys. You want to get a good shot. You don't want to just take the first shot, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, in this situation right here, Wenatchee really needs to work on their offense and get their rotation working with these kids that normally may not be a starter, but someday are going to be a starter.
Same play. Strom got free.
Actually, pretty good defense there by number 24.
Nice pass by Williams. He hits Strom, and Strom puts it in. Jake Strom with the goal at the 4:06 mark of the second quarter. Strom hasn't really started off real hot this year. He's coming off a major knee surgery. I think that might be his first goal of the year. I'm not sure.
I think you might be right there. He's probably one of the best face-off guys I've ever seen. But he's just struggling on a return coming back from injury, and I think that's acceptable. But we're waiting for him to blow up a little bit.
He had a major ACL surgery, and I think it's been about a year and a half. And it takes a while for players to trust that knee again after you've had an injury. You just don't want to hurt it again. Reiner with a face-off this time, and he takes it himself, gets down to the box. And you're going to have a substitution, Garrison Coley back on for Wenatchee. Jack Myers with the ball. Jack Myers played mostly defensive midi last year, but you've seen him out there at offense this year. In fact, he has a goal so far this year. And he's calling the play out there. You see what he does. You got Walker on the cut. Back over to Reiner. Over to Coley. Coley down to Walker. He's got the move. He made the move, and he's going to try and get a shot off, and he doesn't. Oh, he did. From his back.
He takes it from his back. Nice shot by John Walker.
I thought he was going to shoot that before, and then he got knocked down and was able to put it in. So John Walker, up from the JV team, gets a goal here in the second quarter.
Well, we love to see that. We love to see these JV kids getting out there and getting some good experience. He's going to feel that one a little bit later tonight, though, Rod. Let me tell you, I think he might feel that one.
Yeah, it's funny because the game is not as physical as it was a few years ago, but still, when you get a shot to the chest like that and you're going down on your back, it does have an impact. And they don't wear a lot of pads. I mean, some of these kids, the attack guys, they don't wear very, very thin pads. Mostly just to protect them from getting hit by the ball.
Yeah, they choose to lower the padding down so they got flexibility in their shooting. And you can be really restricted with pads because it takes a lot of miles an hour off your shot. So.
Yeah. In close like that, though, I feel bad for the goalie a little bit because he did shoot that from his back, but it was I thought it was a pretty clean hit.
It was a clean hit. And the goalie was just caught off guard. John Walker was on his back basically when he shot it. So goalie wasn't expecting that ball to be coming at the net. So
timeout. I think that was. Did Coach Parker take that timeout? Because Chiawana took the first timeout.
Yeah.
So he probably just wanted to tell his guys, okay, we've got 3 minutes left in this half. We're up 14-0. You tell me what he's saying to the guys right now.
Well, this is a very hard position for a coach to be in. I would rather have a tie game or a 1-point game than to have a 14-0 because these kids are heading over the road to a jamboree in San Diego, and they are going to see competition that is just going to be very elite. And so it's really hard from Coach Parker's standpoint to stand here and say, hey, guys, we got to step off the throttle.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this game really isn't a very good preparation for playing an elite team, because your players are going to maybe do some things that they wouldn't do against another team. Maybe get a little bit overconfident and a little bit lackadaisical in their passing.
Exactly. That was the number one word I was just going to use, lackadaisical. That tends to happen when you're playing somebody that is not quite on the talent.
So you got Tristan Plock on the face-off, and Jack Myers is able to run that down. So he gets a ground ball.
I'd like to see Jack Myers get another goal today.
I wouldn't see any reason why he wouldn't if he stays in the game and plays offensive midi. Working around, back to X. John Walker with the ball. Over to Sam Williams. Back up to Tristan Plock. Now, he's a kid that likes to shoot. Over to Sammy Arredondo. And back over to Jack Myers.
Tristan Plock, I think, is one of those kids that is such an athlete that he's probably the second hardest shooter on this Wenatchee squad when he really wants to be.
Yeah. He's always had a strong shot. Used to play attack when he was a little kid, but he's been playing midi the last few years, and I think he's really taken to it. Over to Williams on the wing, back up to Plock up top. And they're calling a play out.
Yep, here comes Dale, it looks like.
You got the guys
Sammy's
clearing out.
Clear.
And there's Plock. He doesn't have the shot, makes a good decision, throws it back behind to Williams. Over to Myers. And Sammy Arredondo is going to bring it back the other way. Looking for a cutter. He's got John Walker. John Walker just fresh off that goal. He's probably wanting another one. Over to Plock. They're doing a good job just working around, taking their time. And Myers with the ball. Back to Arredondo. A little defense is going to pull that one out, I think.
Kicking into the goalie.
And you got the
use your goalie, use your keeper.
Grant Smith.
Nice job.
Grant Smith. Don't get in and out of the goal there. Got to stay out of that crease now.
Yep, there he goes.
Okay, now we've got minute 25 to go in the quarter. Let's see this goalie clear this ball. And again, passes low, and Sam Williams should have had that ground ball, and he still might. Sammy Arredondo is going to come up with it. Yeah, and Arredondo. So Wenatchee's going to keep possession down in there into the field.
I would think we'll probably push this down in here, work the offense a little bit, maybe take a last-minute shot.
We're down to a minute in the second quarter, which brings us to halftime. Wenatchee up 14 goals in this one. Sam Williams with the ball over to Sammy Arredondo. Back up top to Jack Myers. Jack Myers over to Plock. See if Plock calls a play here. No, they're still just going to work it around. Got a little movement here. John Walker running it to X. He's got Coldy. Coldy back up to Myers. Myers calling the play. We've got 35 seconds to go. He's going to try and just get this one past. There's a shot. Come on now. He's going to take it? No, he's not going to take it.
He's not.
Maybe Coach told him to pull back on this because that shot was there. Normally I would think that Jack would take that shot.
I would think he would take that shot. That's a great angle. Had nothing in front of him. He could have pulled it off.
Tristan Block with the drive. Maybe they're thinking that if they're going to take a shot, it's going to be in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think so. I know Coach Brand is very respectful. I'm pretty sure that he's told the kids, hey, let's go out there, let's run hard, but we don't need to score every time we're out here.
They always talk about honoring the game, and here it is with the time running out. Sammy Arredondo, see if he takes a shot. He does not.
He does not.
So we're at halftime. It is 14-0 Wenatchee, and we'll be back after a short break to talk about the first half stats and talk about what we expect to see in the second half, Jimmy.
It sounds really good. We got a great game going here. We hope it's going to stay the same.
And we'll be back North Central Washington Live Channel on a broadcast of lacrosse in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the Apple Bowl. I'm Rod Higley, filling in for Eric Granstrom today. We're at halftime, and Wenatchee leads 14-0. We'll give a little recap of the scoring. Lots of it on the Wenatchee side. Started off early in the first quarter, 11:31. Ben Higley with his first goal of the game, followed by Jake Reiner about 35 seconds later. And then Roby Jorgensen got on the board at 8:43, followed by Sammy Arredondo, and then Ben Higley with his second goal. Greg Coldy had a goal as time started to run out in the first quarter. That was his first goal of the game, and then Ben Higley had his second. And so we finished the first quarter with a score of 7-0. Wenatchee pretty much rolling against Chiawana today. It's kind of a bit of a mismatch because Wenatchee is a senior or upperclassman-oriented team, and Chiawana is the exact opposite with freshmen and sophomores mostly on their squad. Second quarter started off the way the first quarter ended with some quick goals. Chiawana had a penalty, a 3-minute non-releasable for an illegal stick, and Wenatchee scored 3 goals during that penalty time. Roby Jorgensen with the first one at 11:05, followed by Greg Coldy with his second goal, and then Jake Reiner with a goal. And then Greg Coldy had his third goal of the game at the 7:34 mark of the game. And then Luke Jobe got on the board, and that was his first goal of the year, followed by Jake Strom with his first goal of the year, and then John Walker by his first goal of the year. So we had a lot of guys getting goals in this game, a lot of guys fresh up from the JV team that are playing today. And so far it's just been all Wenatchee. We're going to come back in just a few minutes. Jimmy Sherrill's going to talk to us a little bit about what we've got going on at the Wenatchee Wild game tonight, 50-50, and some of the lacrosse players will be there trying to raise some money. So we'll be back in just a few minutes to the Apple Bowl and be back at North Central Washington Life Channel's broadcast of high school lacrosse. Welcome back to the Apple Bowl on the North Central Washington Live Channel broadcast of high school lacrosse. Wenatchee up 14-0 at halftime. We're going to get the second half started pretty quickly. Jimmy Sherrill joins us here. You've got the Chuck-a-Puck tonight for the Wenatchee lacrosse team, and a big game for the Wild as well. Playoffs.
Yes, it's a playoff game for the Wild, and fortunately, sports like we do, they need fundraising, and so tonight we're having a fundraising project for the Wenatchee Lacrosse High School Association. So we're inviting you guys to come out, watch a nice hockey game, and maybe pick up a couple of bags of Chuck-a-Pucks and grab a few 50-50 and maybe get a chance to win some money, but support local lacrosse around here.
And the Wild. I mean, they're up 1-0 against Trail. It's going to be a good game, and I hope a lot of people are out there tonight. Hopefully a great crowd. We'll be back with the second half here in just a few seconds. I think, I'm not sure, but Wenatchee looks like they're in control of this one. We'll be back in just a few minutes with second half action.
You're stuck trying to find the perfect beer for you? Look no further than Badger Mountain Brewing. We specialize in creating tantalizing craft beers that will soothe any picky taste buds and will satisfy your cravings. Check out everything from our amazing honey blonde that will appease even the most finicky taster, or a delicious frothy stout for dark beer lovers. Experience them all at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Family means something in these parts. Family owned and operated means even more. At Rose Tractor, you're buying more than a product. You're buying years of knowledge through multiple generations. It means you can count on Rose for quality products, quality repairs, and folks who stand behind the products they sell. From your job site to your home to rentals and repairs to new outdoor power equipment, Rose Tractor is growing with you throughout the years. Rose Tractor, quality brands you can trust year after year.
Welcome back to the Apple Bowl. I'm Rod Higley along with Jimmy Sherrill for high school lacrosse on the North Central Washington Life Channel. Wenatchee up 14-0 starting the second half. Now, Jimmy, there's a little bit of a rule change for the second half when you're up by more than 10 runs.
Yeah,
or 10 goals.
Once you're up 10 goals, there should be a mandatory no stoppage of the clock. So the clock should just run through 12 minutes in the third quarter and 12 minutes in the fourth quarter, unless Chiawana gets on a roll here and drops a few goals, and then that scenario might change. But for right now, it should be a straight running clock. So,
as we talked about just before we went to the halftime, from a coaching player perspective, it's hard to keep your kids focused when you're up 14 goals. So Chiawana could see some action here. I mean, they want to make a good showing. They've got family and friends here, and they want to get some points on the board. So it could change in a hurry, and that would lift them a lot if they got the first one.
Right. And I would love to see that. It looks to me like they've made a little bit of personnel changes. I see it. Looks like number 32.
32, I don't have on my roster, so that could be
30. 30.
Okay, that's Jared Miako. He's been in the game. You got 26, Caleb Leavitt on the face-off. Jake Reiner going for Wenatchee. Kicks out in front. And number 2 looked like he was going to run it down. He got a back push, I think. Nope, no loose ball push called. And control goes to Chiawana. Number 18. Now you've got Grant Smith.
Ball's down again.
Greg
Coldy's up with the ball now.
He's had a good game today, as he has all season long. Greg Coldy's just going to run it back. He's got 2 guys on him. He's lucky not to lose that ball. He's still with it. He dropped his stick. Actually got it whacked out of there. Nice defensive play. And Jared Miako comes away with the ground ball, gets it up to Caleb Leavitt. He's running it up.
Oh, that's got to be a push foul.
You'd think that'd be a push from behind, but there's no call.
Referee, he's got it.
There it is.
Yep, here it comes.
The trail ref makes that call, and let's see, they're going to confer.
30 seconds, releasable.
So we've got a 2-7. That's Jake Reiner with a penalty. And so he'll sit in the box for a few minutes. But we also had a stick penalty. I didn't even realize that. So we've got Jake Strom in the box as well. So he's got a 3-minute non-releasable. Wenatchee's 2 men down. Chiawana could certainly get a goal here. It's a great opportunity for them.
This is a great opportunity for them right here. They've got a 6-on-4.
That's Ryan Sullivan with the ball.
We're definitely going to be in a 4-box zone here is what we're going to be, but it should leave some opening for them to get something in here.
Burroughs working against Sage
They
Kreider.
got 30 seconds, though. They should be pulling a shot off here pretty soon.
Aiden Bockhart gets it over to Ryan Sullivan. And looked like one of the Johnson boys. No, that's Lucerna that didn't handle that pass. Yeah. And Cole Hansen, that's time. I don't know why that buzzer went off.
That's the 30-second buzzer, so they've released Jake Reiner, but we still have the 3-minute non-releasable in there.
Sage Kreider with the ball. He's running it up, and I wouldn't be surprised if he dumps this one off, and he does to Gray. Had Ben right. Oh, that's Sam Williams right in front. Held it back. You got the defenders getting set. Sam Williams running the ball. Sammy Arredondo comes on the field, and he's got the ball now. So Chiawana settle down, play a little defense, see what happens here.
Yep, I think we'll probably try to waste the penalty. I would be shocked that Chiawana doesn't try to double our guys here.
Well, it looks like that's what they're doing.
They're trying to catch up with Greg Coldy, but that's like.
When you got 24 chasing him down like that, Isaiah Sanchez, he's doing a job, but Coldy's able to just run this ball. He's going to dump it off to somebody else, and they'll probably continue this run. Nope, it's just Gray.
Oh, yeah, he turned right into a double there. They should have doubled him up really well.
And now he's got a room to the goal, passes it out to John Walker, and John Walker takes a shot. Goalie makes a save. So that's Ryan Woodward, and he's had about 4 or 5 saves today at least. There's been a lot of shots that have been wide, but he's had a few saves as well. Back up to Myers up top. You got some tight D way out of the box. You want to see your guys playing that tight?
No, well, they are right now because they're still a man up. But
they leave a lot of space, and Jack Myers is able to put it in with a man-up goal. So here we are in the third quarter at 8:51. We got a running clock, which is good for all of us with a game.
Good for all of us, yep.
So you got Jack Myers. He gets on the board. And, again, there's been a lot of different faces, a lot of different numbers scoring for Wenatchee in this game.
Yeah, I think that might be the second goal of the year for old Jack Myers there. He's a defensive midi, but kind of converting him over and letting him shoot the ball a little bit.
So at 8:23, Wenatchee goes up by a score of 15-1. There's still a man down for, it's got to be a 3-minute. I'm surprised it's not released. It should have come out at 9, but so I don't know why. But that's Tristan Plock on the face-off. And Chiawana almost came up with it, but Plock is going to chase it down. He's on the edge, and it goes out of bounds. That's Chiawana's ball. So little turnover there. I mean, they should have had control of that face-off, and Chiawana gets the ball. Got Sullivan, bring it up. He had Sullivan there, and he just wasn't ready for the pass. Barojos on it. Jack Myers has it covered. They got Chiawana in the crease, and so it's
in the crease. Yep.
Get a free clear for Wenatchee.
And the 3-minute unreleasable is gone. So now we're even players. 6.
So show us here, Jimmy. You got Tristan Plock standing here at the offensive end. Looked like he was ready to go on, and then they pulled him back. Do you know why they pulled him back there?
So why we do that is it's kind of a push and slide depending upon if we get the ball or we don't get the ball. We'll have a guy at each cone, and if we get the ball, Tristan will run on, and if we don't get the ball and we go into a defensive set, our D pole is at the other end of the box ready to run on. So it just makes us a little bit more efficient on offenses that can run very fast.
And you get 20 yards kind of head start on the play.
You get a 20-yard head start on the play, yep.
You got Sammy Arredondo with the ball up on the left side here.
He's just called some nail. Yeah. Here we go. Let's see if he can break it open.
Got his hands free. The goalie makes a save.
Nice save again. Nice save by the goalie.
Let's see Woodward get this ball cleared this time. He's going to run it up. Nobody's on him. Nobody's really pressuring him at this point. He's got the defender out here in the wing, but he's got to be quicker with it, don't you think?
Yes, he does. He can't let Greg
Now that's an open goal. Is he going to take it? No, he's going to pull it back out.
He's going to pull it out, yep.
Which, 15-0, there's no sense in rubbing it in. But
No, but the coaches need to sit down or call a timeout, and they really need to work on some type of ladder program to get the ball over the midfield.
You see these good teams that have these set plays where guys are coming back to the ball, and it seems like every time they're free somehow, and they just find a way to get that open spot. The goalie knows where he's going to be, and he knows his outlets there. And Chiawana, that's something that it comes with the game, but they just don't have it yet.
Nope, they don't have it yet. They're young and they're working on their program, and this is things that come to you as you start to develop your program, ways to get this offense to work.
Plock gets it down to Coldy. Coldy feeds Arredondo, and the defender is able to block that shot. That's 18 again. You've called his number a lot, Grant Smith.
Grant Smith.
Yeah, Coldy got the ball back, though. So Greg Coldy with the ball. I tell you what, Greg Coldy's a senior this year. He's really come out on fire. He scored a lot of goals, and he's playing, just both sides of the ball. I mean, he came up with a defensive stop there from the attack side.
And the thing about that is I expected Greg Coldy to do that. Man, that guy spent countless hours in the gym on our off season just working on his game and working on his physique and being a physical lacrosse player.
And he's a kid that's had some injuries. I think he broke a leg one year, and he broke a collarbone or an arm.
Collarbone, yeah.
So it wasn't easy for him the first couple years playing lacrosse at the high school level. There's a nice feed, but John Walker, it's past him, and we've got a turnover. Back to the goalie. That's a good play.
Okay, goalie, just bring that thing up here, and at worst comes to worst, you Gilman it down to your...
Yeah, no kidding. Just throw it all the way down the field if you don't have it.
Yeah.
Nobody's on him, so he can take his time.
Yeah, see, that's...
He just doesn't know what to do with the ball.
So one of the major things we teach our kids right from the gate, our goalies, is never release the ball in the center of the field. We would much rather you see the throw it down the sideline and it go out of bounds than to release it down the middle of the field and give up a goal in less than 2 seconds.
You're right. And at least you've got a 50-50 if you're thrown in the corner. Right. Your guys can at least battle for the ball. So we've got Williams with the ball, working it back to X. See what Wenatchee sets up here. Looks like they're setting up for, Sam's going to take a shot at it. He rolls it. And he's down, but
he's
got
down.
the pass off to Arredondo. Arredondo with a shot. The defender was able to knock it down. And it looks like, yep, number 30. That's Jared Maciel comes away. He should just run that ball up, but he dropped it. And there's a little push, but they're not going to call that, I don't think.
Yeah, we had some good defense there. Number 7, O'Shea Fellows from Chiawana actually was involved in a little bit of slap down of the ball there. So he's on the ball right now. Let's see if he can stay up with Sam Williams.
Nice move by Luke Job as he was able to roll out of that and get the ball up the field. Over to John Walker on the right side. Back to Job. Taking his time, getting things set up here. Calling the play. Now, you want to see these passes maybe just a little bit quicker, or does it matter at this point?
Well, you know what? If I was Coach Parker in this situation right here, I would really want our offense still to be doing what they do.
Yeah, see, it's looking kind of sloppy right now.
It's a little
You've seen
sloppy,
some balls
yep.
on the ground and some forced passes and just the word lackadaisical that we were looking
yeah.
at. They just don't look quite
and
as
this
sharp.
is what you do. This is what happens to good teams. They start dropping their competition level down to their competitor. And that's what we're seeing a little taste of right now. And, yeah, we've got some JV guys in here. And
nice pass, and that was Gray Coldy with the shot. Nice pass by Luke Job. And the ball stays with Wenatchee. Careened off on the outside. Did he hit pipe on that?
I think that hit the goalie is what it did.
Okay. Williams feeds it back to John Walker behind the goal. Finds Gray Coldy. Gray Coldy running the show. He's been running the show a lot today. Williams with the ball.
I think Gray Coldy's getting playing time too because this is his last season. He gets to check out. He's a senior.
Well, not only that, he's a heady player. He's a smart kid. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes. And when you've got the younger guys out there, they need a coach on the field. And he's kind of one of those guys. John, who's got the ball? We got it up top with Jack Myers.
I think Jack Myers up here on the top left has it.
And you got the play
Looks
with the
like
double
Hammer's
screen.
Coming.
And it did not go well. Chiawana able to stop that one. And they come up with the ground ball? Yes,
Yep,
they do. That's
do.
Caleb Leavitt.
They've got it over midfield.
His first time for a while they've been on that side. Let's see if they can make a nice pass here.
Here it is,
Sullivan
right here.
Makes a shot. And we've got
saved by Jack Jorgensen.
Got a scrum in the middle, and they got the whistle now, but I'm not sure what the call is going to be. If we got a loose ball push on Wenatchee. Loose ball push against Wenatchee, so Chiawana is going to maintain possession. You've got some guys coming on. You've got
there goes Noah Kim for the first time today, I think.
He was out there once before, but yeah, it's nice to see Noah back out there on the field. He played some varsity last year and played pretty well on the D. There's just so many guys this year that it's hard to find spots for guys.
They are stacked defensively. Noah would be a starting player on any varsity squad but ours.
You see some hustle there, but the ball is loose, and it is over and back.
Call.
Yep. Okay, so Ben Higley back in the game here with 23 seconds left in the quarter. He's got the ball up top, run clock, so I would be surprised if they even take a shot. He'll just run the quarter out.
I think he'll just run around, yeah.
And he's in trouble, so he needs some help. He finds Gary Coldy. The ball's on the ground, but no one's picking it up. There, you got a ground ball by 24 from Chiawana. And Caleb Leavitt bringing it up. Get a shot.
They may have a shot here.
Time running out, and he gets the shot off as the quarter sounds. So here we are at the end of the third quarter. It's 15-0 Wenatchee. We'll be back at the Apple Bowl for the final quarter of Wenatchee against Chiawana in just a minute. Welcome back to the Apple Bowl. I'm Rod Higley along with Jimmy Sherrill. Wenatchee up by a score of 15-0 in this one. Only one tally there in that third quarter. Jack Myers hit the goal with a 7:51 mark in the third quarter, but the run clock really kind of changes the complexion of this game.
It certainly does, and I think this is good for both squads that this running clock just keeps going. I was a little bit more impressed there with Chiawana, though, in that period. I think they got 5 or 6 shots off.
They did get a couple of shots off, and their defense seemed to be stepping it up a little bit. They were fighting for those ground balls, and Wenatchee it looked like they lost their composure a little bit on offense. They didn't look quite as crisp. Some of the balls were on the ground, and Chiawana was taking advantage of that. And they did get a couple of real good shots right at the end of the quarter. They had a good opportunity to score.
Yep, a little bit sloppy there, but I'm sure Coach Parker probably went in there and said, hey, boys, we're not going to play sloppy. We're just going to be consistent and not put it in the net.
Easton Hudson comes up with the face-off. Actually, it was Jake Reiner
there he's
and
cut
Sullivan.
In the middle.
He was open.
Yep.
But again, at this point in the game, probably not looking for those quick shots.
I'm not sure they're going to make that pass today.
Yeah.
It's good to see you still want your players to perform the duties that they normally would do, though, in this situation. And that's what he does, is he makes that cut there, even though he's not going to get the ball, but he still does it because it's memory that allows them to be a better player.
Right. And I see that Coach Parker, to start the fourth quarter, kind of put the first line offense back, at least with middies. Nice cut there by Sam Williams, and the ball's down, and looks like Chiawana, leave it. Going to come. Nope. Roby was able to pull that one back. Mason Dahlbeck with the ball. He's going to. Well, he thought about it. He wanted to shoot. That's instinct for Mason. He wants to shoot the ball, and then he's like, oh no, we're up 15-0. So working it around. Ben Higley over to Sam Williams, getting up to Jake Reiner up on the left side over there. He'll pull it back, call the play. Over to Roby. Roby will again pull it back. Over to Mason Dahlbeck.
Nice little screen there by Ben.
Mason, he's impressed me a lot this year. You can tell that he just takes this game. This is his favorite thing to do. He's got this shot right there, and he kind of took a little bit off of it, it looked like.
Yeah.
And he's able to get his own ground ball. That's hustle. Here it is. You're up 15-0, and Mason Dahlbeck's just out there hustling. He's playing lacrosse.
Yeah. And Mason's another one of those kids that was a definitely no-brainer at the beginning of the season. He put a ton of work in on the offseason, muscled up a bunch, had plenty of works outs. Ooh.
And there's that left-handed shot from Roby Jorgensen we were talking about, how he shoots left nearly as fast as he shoots right, but he scored from both sides today. And here we are with 10 minutes in the fourth quarter, and Roby Jorgensen hits the net.
That was from 25 yards out, and the goalie didn't even know it was coming.
Yeah. And, again, when you've got a player that can go both directions, it puts a lot of strain on the defensive guys because they're used to seeing guys that can only go one way or the other.
It's almost impossible to defend. It really is, unless you've got guys that are athletes playing defense that can do a 1-2 slide in seconds.
Yeah. And these Chiawana kids, they look like some pretty big bodies back there.
Yeah, they're
Jake
big.
Reiner able to get the face off and take it himself. A little push in the back, but he didn't even go down on that one, so no call. Ben over to Gray Coldy. Coldy slowing things down over to Sam Williams. You got some substitutions. Roby coming back on, so you got the Roby Jorgensen, Mason Dahlbeck, Jake Reiner, Sam Williams, Gray Coldy, and Ben Higley. That's your starting offense that's out there in the fourth quarter. My guess is that coach just want to say, okay, let's go out and let's work on this thing. Let's make it look good.
Yeah, I think this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to fine-tune, and this is how you do it.
Nice feed there, but just missed it. Roby's backing it up. Gets it open. Nope. I thought he was going to throw it to Ben, but he was able to keep that one in his stick. That's a nice little nifty move. Coldy with the ball, taking his time. No real pressure at X. He's got Ben cutting, but he's not throwing the ball just yet. He's just waiting for the guy to come out on him so he can roll around him. But over back to Sam Williams. Sam's going to bring it around. He's got a little bit of defensive pressure on him. Mason Dahlbeck up to Roby Jorgensen. See if Roby calls a play here, or they're just going to keep moving the ball.
I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to do a freelance here where a screen and pick is happening on the GLE.
On the GLE?
Yeah, on the downside, they try to pull a midfielder in and they screen.
Nifty move by Mason Dahlbeck there, and the goalie was able to.
That was a great
block
save.
On that. We got a flag down. See what the call is.
I'm guessing it's slash.
Trying to pick it up, but it's hard to if they don't make a signal right away, it's hard for them to say what it is. Here comes Todd Strom over to the table with the call.
Looks like a slashing maybe on number 30. I saw Mason grabbing a hold of his helmet. It looked like he might have got jacked in the.
Yeah, but I think they called an illegal body check. He raised his arm like that, and that's Jared Miyako. If I'm saying his name wrong, I apologize, but So he's played well today. I mean, he's been a good player. So Wenatchee goes man up. We'll see what they do with their man up offense. It's a nice feed from Gray Coldy. Ben's going to chase this one down. It's a loose ball, so if that goes out of bounds, it's a turnover. He does. Gray Coldy at X. Back up to Jake Reiner and Roby with a left-handed rip. Just missed on that one, and Coldy's right there to back that one up.
All I saw was the black stuff from the carpet come up. I couldn't even see the shot myself.
You saw his arm move, but you couldn't see the ball. And Ben Higley with a shot, and that one goes in. That's number 4 for Ben. So here they are. They're running their man-up offense. Here we are, 16-0. Or is it 17?
Yeah,
it's 17.
It's 17 to nothing. Yeah, 17 to nothing. But like I said, he can't step on the brake. He's got to stay on the gas a little bit. These kids are going to compete against people that are definitely a league above us. That we're really going to have to play to high potential to stay with them, I'm afraid.
Yeah, and it's you're not going to say your guys are going to go down there and get beat. You want them to go down there and compete, and you want them to represent well, and you want them to be sharp, So I get why he's got the first teamers out there here in the fourth quarter of this game, but I doubt we'll see him again.
No, I'm pretty sure he'll probably go down. He may, if we go man up again, I'll bet you he brings those starters back in again. It's just because your man up zone you've got to be money on it.
Barojos with the face-off win. That's the first face-off win, I think, cleanly for
Chiawana
all day, yeah.
Now they're going into yellow, making some substitutions here. Let's see if they can
got number 8, Devin Brown, on the field. I haven't seen his number a whole lot today. Barojos with the ball up top. They're going to run a play here and see what we can get going. We've got Plock on the defense. Going to drive, see if he can get a cutter. He finds, that was Devin Brown with the ball. Got some Easton Hudson scrambling for it. Ball still loose. Up in the air, and it looks like Quinn Rounds comes up with the ground ball. Gets it over to Jack Jorgensen in goal. And let's see if Wenatchee can do it clear. They haven't had too many opportunities on that this year, and they throw it away.
They throw it away.
Because they haven't been working at it.
They haven't had to work on it at all.
That's really, as far as turnovers today, I haven't seen too many turnovers for Wenatchee. And here we are with under 5 minutes to go in the game, and they throw it out of bounds. So we got a timeout. It looked like Wenatchee calls the timeout there.
Calls the timeout, yeah.
So, what do you think Coach Parker's going to say to these guys?
Well, I think he's going to get on him a little bit right now because it doesn't matter what game we're in or who we're playing. He expects perfection, and that right there was not perfection.
And you see Coach Bass talking to Jack Jorgensen right now.
Yeah.
Thomas Bass, played goalie in high school, played goalie in college, has been coaching for a while now, and he knows Jack. And so he's like, okay, Jack, here's what you should do. You're not in a hurry. You don't need to throw that ball in a rush.
I am fortunate to coach with Thomas Bass in the JV squad, and he is a very good people person, and he knows Jack just as well as anything, and so he just had a little small conversation with him right there, conducting him and steering him in the right direction and hoping that this next ride that we get out or clearing will be perfection.
Yeah.
It'll be perfect. That's what we want. Everybody's striving for perfection.
So you pretty much, after this broadcast, you go right to work because you've got a little game going on, a little bit of a scrimmage between some of the JV players and some of the younger players, right?
Yeah, it's worked out great. We were supposed to have a game against Ferris, and Ferris couldn't come up with enough players to play our JV squad, and so we're going to put a lacrosse game together here with some of the younger kids that look up to these high school players, and should be a great time. If anybody's out there and you want to come down and see a little lacrosse, you're welcome to come down to the Apple Bowl.
Yeah, Chiawana had a little bit of an opportunity there. Barojos fed down to 7.
Clear.
Shea Fellows.
See, that's what a clear looks like right there. Jack hits the center guy, midfielder crossing across. Guy never even gets touched. Ball's on the offensive end now.
And Wenatchee has the ball down at X, and they've got an opportunity here to run some more clock. Coldy with the ball, gets over to Williams. Back up to Strom. Feeds it up to Dahlbeck, way up high. And Chiawana's not even going to bite on this. They're going to stay in the box and just kind of help run this one out and play the way they should play at the end of this game.
Yep, exactly. They should just stay in the box and stay tight. I wouldn't believe we're going to take any 20, 25-yard shots.
No. So I would guess that they're just going to run this ball and keep working it around, and if something pops up, maybe they'll take a shot, but I'm guessing they're going to probably pull back a little bit at this point. You've got 3.5 minutes to go in the game. Sam Williams with the ball.
I'm going to throw it out there, but I'm just betting that if Jack Myers gets the ball because he's a defensive player, he may take one
take
to
a
the
rip.
house. Yeah.
Ben Higley with the ball over to skip pass over to Sam Williams, back the other way.
He's going to call a play right here.
He's calling the play.
Yeah.
And he's calling now. Look at the clear out.
Look at the clear out. Yeah, he's looking, the defensive guy looking to score another goal.
Yeah, and he got the first guy open. Beat. And he takes his shot, and it's just a little bit wide on the
great defensive play,
side.
number 26.
That's Caleb Leavitt again.
Caleb Leavitt, yep. He got a stick on that, and otherwise that shot was going to take their goalie's head off.
You know, considering how much their Chiawana defenders have been on the field, I mean, they've been under attack all game, you know.
All game.
So really, to have this game at 17, that's not as bad as it sounds.
And they've got to be exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they totally got to be exhausted.
Mason Dahlbeck looked like he wanted to take a rip, left-handed, and he puts it in.
And he puts it in. That was a great shot. That was actually upper right-hand corner. That's a really hard shot to make.
At 2:16, Wenatchee puts another one on the thing. It's on the board. It's Mason Dahlbeck, and I think that's his. Is that his third goal of the game? I'll have to take a look at it. It's at least his second. Correct?
Yeah, I think I have him for 2.
Yeah. It's hard to say. There's so many. I think there's been 9 guys that have scored for Wenatchee today, you know. Yeah. So they've spread it out. Yeah. That's good.
18 goals. 18 goals, and we know at least 5 have hat tricks. So that's good that they've spread it out, giving everybody a little food to fuel them a little bit.
So under 2 minutes to go. Jake Reiner with the face-off. Little push in the back, but they control it with Easton Hudson again with the ground ball. Over to Ben Higley. I wouldn't be surprised if Ben just runs this ball a little bit. He feeds it back to Sam Williams behind the net at X. Getting it up to Gray Coley. You want to see the ball in his hands. He flicks it up to Garrison Coley. Coley back to Strom. Strom looking over to Higley. Just working it around. Sam Williams with the ball. They're going to bring it back the other way. Little cut across the middle, just opening things up a little bit. Back to Gray Coley behind the net. Coley looking at Higley. He's there. He's not going to shoot that. He didn't catch the ball, so he couldn't shoot that. Strom got it, and he little behind the back shot. Yeah, at this point in the game, I'm not so sure that that's necessarily the best, but it's kind of cool to see.
I'm sure that, I mean, if it would have went in, that would have been a sick goal, but I'm pretty sure Brandon might be talking to him about that.
Yeah. Easton Hudson playing long stick midi. He's got the ball. He's running across. He can shoot, too.
He's going to let this one go.
And he puts it right in. The goalie was screened by the defender. He didn't even see that ball. Went right past him, and so Easton Hudson hits the goal. You got 24 seconds to go. The clock's still running. This time is going to run out on this game, and Wenatchee's going to win it 19-0.
19-0.
Which is really kind of what we expected in this one. Let's see if we get the face-off off.
That's our first deep hole score of the day, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they've had a couple of shots.
But I think that's the first deep hole score.
5 seconds to go. And Strom with the ball. Coldy takes a shot, and the goalie has a save, and that's the way this one's going to end. 19-0, Wenatchee over Chiawana. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We'll do a quick wrap-up on who scored and how many, and just a fun day here at the Apple Bowl. North Central Life Channel broadcast of high school lacrosse. Welcome back to the Apple Bowl. I'm Rod Higley along with Jimmy Sherrill. Again, Wenatchee wins this game easily, 19-0. 9 guys score. Pretty good day for Wenatchee, but you want to see some better competition than this moving forward, and they're going to.
Yeah, I think, they're going to see some great competition here next week when they go to San Diego. And this young Chiawana team here, I mean, hats off to them. They come into the Apple Bowl here knowing that they're going to face a very, very, very strong Wenatchee lacrosse. And they didn't give up. They just kept they stepped on.
They looked stronger towards the end of the game.
They did. Surprisingly enough, we ran them to death, and they held on near the end and looked stronger in the third and the fourth quarter.
Now, you've still got some work to do today. You got another game, then you've got hockey tonight with a Chuck.
Yeah, so just for all you people out there that want to come down and help out Wenatchee lacrosse, we're doing the 50-50 raffle and the Chuck-a-Puck tonight. Plus the Wild they're in their third round of the playoffs, game number 2. So come on down and see us. See the Wild play and help out Wenatchee lacrosse.
Sounds real good. And again, final score here at the Apple Bowl, 19-0, Wenatchee over Chiawana. High school lacrosse on the North Central Washington Life Channel. For Jimmy Sherrill, I'm Rod Higley. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley YMCA. We now return to regular programming on your source for local sports, the NCW Life Channel.